can call me ICR. It's the first time I'm joining the team. I'm super glad, super excited, and let's move on and play some good TFT today, guys.
Oh, Deadly Ghost just redeemed some stretches, so I think we need to stretch to start us off. Well, as our players are getting set up for the first round, I'm just checking in to see where they are. I think we might actually need to jump onto our game pretty quickly. We've got, I believe, yes, Croc Lesnar is currently playing at the moment, so we will be jumping into our first game. So very quickly then, we'll talk about this more as the game goes on. We're on 15.6. Isaiah, what's the kind of the big picture for us heading into this first game?
So yes, as you said, Counterfeit, we're playing on 15.6 pots, which means it's a very consistent reroll patch, I would say, from my perspective. Many two-cost reroll comps, very safe and actually possible to reach an easy top 4, let's say. For example, Veteran Janna, you can see with a lot of success, or Katarina with 5 Battle Academia. And also a super interesting board as well is Kog'Maw, especially if you are able or lucky enough to hit a Bastion emblem early with for the Yasuo filler.
How about you, DG?
yeah.
How you feeling?
Well, I'm certainly dreading the comeback of Caitlyn. That is the Jace Caitlyn Battle Academia board, because it only seems like it just fell out of the meta and it's now right back. But also we have Crew as well coming back, and perfect timing here because we do see a Crew augment from our first round of augments coming in here. Counter.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, I don't think I've seen too many people bring out Escape Velocity. It did get, I believe it got buffed a little while back to be a little bit more worthwhile, but in terms of Crew overall, what are you feeling about them as of the 15.6 meta?
If I'm not mistaken, it got buffed the previous patch, not the recent one, the latest one. A very good, a very solid comp. If you have the spot and you have an early Sivir or Malphite to play to, especially with a Max Vitality. If you find Max Vitality, which recently got buffed in the latest patch on Malphite, you can outscale pretty easy the standalone fruit that we can see it suits very well to Malphite, and a pretty good board, but you need a lot of economy and some luck in order to hit your units. If you stabilize your board at around before fourth stage begins, I think you are good to go.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there. You have to hit a little bit, but you also do need economy, as you need a lot of economy for most of these reroll comps. I feel like at least one reroll augment really needs to come in for these boards, as we do see Croc Lesnar with a Janna and a Katarina. Bit selfish from you, Croc Lesnar. Let the others have some 2-cost rerolls.
That's right. And he also has a very good recently added fruit, the Noxious Trap. I don't know if you guys are aware.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty good, and it's especially on Malzahar. Like, if you are out there and listening, play Malzahar with this fruit. It's very broken.
It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? Because I saw them adding new fruits in so late to this set. Like, Noxious Trap having this many utility options, considering those are things you probably want from Malzahar anyway, is absolutely crazy. But now that Croc Lesnar seems to be sticking with a 2-cost reroll, so we will keep taking a look around. Let's jump up to the top and see Astarina running the Star Guardian vertical. I know, DG, you had some thoughts on where Star Guardians are at the moment.
Yeah, so Star Guardians had a little bit of a nerf coming into the Xayah and the Jinx passive. So basically, Xayah gives you a little bit of less damage on auto attacks, and Jinx, you get a little bit of less attack speed on takedown. However, you have a couple of buffs to to the fruits that give Star Guardian bonuses. So I think it's basically been evened out a little bit, and also the Ari buffs have certainly made the Ari reroll come back here. But oh wow, cloning facility and shadow clone. So you basically have 3 Syndras. That is, forgive me, but that is extremely funny.
This is a very good spot for Starina right now. I would like to also comment on what TG said correctly about Star Guardians, that many of the boards, since the latest patch added, are the 4-cost boards, I mean, are not so strong. This is why the reroll costs are getting shiny again. For example, Sulfighter board got a pretty big nerf. I mean, if you don't find an early Sulfighter emblem, you are just doomed playing the comp. It's really not optional. But overall, yes, that's it.
Well, let's go and take a look at one of the other options. Spieling's bringing out the monster trainer, Kog'Maw. We've certainly seen this be very popular with Caretaker, with Fairy Tail. In this case, bringing out Bestest Boy. I don't hate this at all, DG, as an early choice, even if it doesn't necessarily scale super well, just to get as much value out of this Kog'Maw on these slower early rounds.
Yeah, back when you had your monster trainer having to gain levels, you would use Bestest Boy quite a lot to have them gain levels a lot easier. But it looks like, for example, Spielings now is going for the heavyweight option instead of the Bastion, like we said. And I feel like Kog'Maw with almost every single frontline comp is sort of worth it. You can make it work with Protectors, you can make it work with Bastions, you can make it work with heavyweights. It's just a matter of which frontline defensive unit will I be getting more in my shop.
That's right. The thing is that with addition of Yasuo, which is a mentor for the ones that do not know, it gives to your Cog attack speed as a mentor buff, and also you have a very good board if you manage to find, as I said earlier, the Bastion emblem and put it on Yasuo. Like he's super tanky, and the amount of damage he's spreading to the enemy board is pretty huge, alongside Kog'Maw.
Alright, let's keep on looking as to what's going on. Mighty Mech coming in here. Some pretty strong slammed items from the player whose name I'm going to have to make a complete guess on. Yukushki? No, I can there must be an easier way to even guess how to say that name, but I'm falling down, DG.
Maybe Yikshi?
Yikshi? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. If they're listening, they please let us know in chat. But from what I'm looking here, we have a Quicksilver, we have a Nashor's Tooth, a Giant Slayer. Those are pretty consistent with Akali items, so maybe we have the early Mighty Mech to sort of compensate and give us a little bit of frontline and get us towards the late game, because usually if I'm seeing those items, I'm thinking, oh, this is an Akali board incoming, because Mighty Mech has also suffered a little bit of decline in power, but it's still a fairly strong board, though I would not be rushing to play it if I have some of the reroll options open.
Well, as the one thing I have been seeing crop up a little bit more recently is trying to tie in Akali to the Mighty Mech kind of strategy, and with Isekai coming in here as an option as well, I could easily see that being the choice. And yeah, we'll be bringing in some strategies as well. I don't know if you've had a chance to try out this Mentor Mighty Mech Akali variant yourself.
Yeah. It's a pretty good board. It's a board that can safely get you to a top 4. I'm not sure, actually I am sure, because I have played it a lot, let's say. The board is not a win out unless you high roll something super specific, like a a Radiant Nashor's Tooth, for example, which makes your Akali to need only one Nashor's Tooth instead of two that we see in general. But here, in this spot, slamming Nashor's and QSS, it's probably an Akali board that we are gonna see from Yixi.
Yeah, but definitely agree with you here. We're looking at Mr. Duck, who has 4 mentors. So Mr. Duck has gone for the mentor Katarina board. So this is something that we have seen. We have golden. Yeah, okay, we have golden guillotine. That's why we have the Katarina mentor. So basically, it's a mentor executioner board, and it's sort of like a late game board that wants you to scale up. Yes, you go for the Katarina reroll, but you also want to get to the late game to get to those, to get to the karma. To the rise and the other executioners, to just have 4 executioners active. Get Katarina to a very nice spot and play for either the Katarina or the rise main board.
Well, let's put this in comparison, Isgar. Because Katarina and Akali feels like, they're both executions. They both feel they're trying to do roughly similar things, and now they're both in the same game with each other. I mean, you're talking about a top 4 for the Akali board. Do you have any kind of read on what the Katarina reroll will do comparatively?
I think Katarina is a stronger board than Akali right now. At least from what I have played so far. I have played both comps. When I play Katarina and I am versus Akali, I most of the times win the fight or a placement above this guy. But here it's super interesting because we see the veteran Katarina. I probably believe that this is a filler unit, the Katarina here. He's gonna switch probably to an Akali later on. But yes, overall, I think Katarina with 7 Battle Academia, especially, I repeat it because it's super huge for Katarina, with Radiant Hodge or Edge of Night, she's super strong late game. Probably a top 2, I would say.
We'll check back in with Serena in just a second, who is still on that Star Guardian board. It's looking like Star Guardian Vertical. I mean, DT, you mentioned that we've got the Xayah nerfs, the Jinx nerfs as well. I suppose, at least at this point, the Jinx nerfs haven't necessarily come into effect on this board, but so far, it's going spectacularly. Nearly 2 full stages for Serena here without losing a single round.
Yeah, it's more of the nerfs coming into the bonuses that they give from Star Guardians, not necessarily the units themselves. But yeah, with Syndra being fairly powerful, and Shadow Clone is just another. Oh, we now see cloning facility actually being used on a Rakan, which I actually don't hate, because Rakan just giving you those extra heals and shields is really good. But yeah, what I was saying is Star Guardians with Syndra and Dari, especially for early game access, is incredible. As we do see Serena fall down to Croc Lesnar, who actually has a rise on level 6 with this Mentor Strategist board. So, guess I'm eating my words.
I would like to add something here on Serena. Like, Serena is trying, because he has the win streak, he has the Star Guardian board from early. He's trying to put as much pressure as he can to the lobby, which is a very good strat, let's say, for his spot, giving the amount of players going reroll. So he's trying to secure, like, to save HP and to secure his a better spot for himself. Like, he's playing super good the spot that he has. Unfortunately, he lost the fight because the guy found a rise in his mentor Janna. But still, we can see that he picked the random augment first. It was a battle augment. He decided to get the tempo, to open his board, to pick a second battle augment and just put as much pressure as he can to the lobby, which is a very smart decision here.
Well, Spielings will be the one to step up past that, so this is the bestest boy Cogmore board we saw from before, and we do get to see another one of the new power-ups coming in, the Rocket Grab, being used here. DG, I don't know if you had a chance to try this out yourself, but, you know, the extra shield, 20% health shield by itself is pretty much worthwhile, and the grab just feels like a bonus.
Yeah, this is just... You have the light crest shield, you have rocket grab, you have the protector shield coming in. So basically, this Neeko is almost unkillable. And with Spielings finding, oh, that's 5 protector, not 6. We're missing the Cassandre. That's who it was. But a level 7, a little bit later than usual, I would say, but. Already on Neeko 2, we have a couple of Cogmoths. This is a really good reroll board coming in here for Spielings, and we're already seeing that, you know, most of the boards that are doing well are basically reroll comps, as the random lucky Cogmoth from the orbs helping out Spielings here quite a lot.
We are seeing some units here.
We have a Winchuslam on Kog'Maw and level 2, which is pretty huge here. Yeah. But I think he's late already, if I'm not mistaken here. Like, yeah, it does. For 1.
I'm impressed how well Spielings is doing, as we will see the power-up being changed there. There we go, the Fairy Tail being brought in. We're talking about, this wasn't the ideal setup, but up against Mr. Duck, we have got the very Akali-esque items on that Katarina veteran board. As noted before, we could see this board change as time goes on, but Mr. Duck, I think currently isn't even particularly close to hitting Katarina 3, were he inclined to be going down this route longer term.
Yeah, I think he's just waiting to roll down on 4-2. We can see he has 50 gold, Mr. Duck, and just hit his Akali. Just change the spot.
Yeah, well, yeah, looking at it, he's not as close to level 8 as some of the other people are, so I think we're waiting on the last augment. Another prismatic augment here, so this means it's a lot of tempo being pushed in here.
I'm surprised to see the Masterwork upgrade being passed over, given how, you know, one Unix centric some of these boards are. Instead decides to go for some more belts, so Mr. Duck certainly got enough in terms of items. I think this will be a very limited roll down with the amount of money we've got left in the tank. We've only just upgraded to Katarina 2, I didn't even notice that. So for now, Mr. Duck on 38 HP will have to be very careful about how these next few rounds play out.
Yeah, this one is looking a little bit rough, as we do see the rises coming in from this reroll. Oh, we sold the Callista. That is not a good look. You kind of want that Callista for the little bit of extra executioners. And also, Duck, you have to get rid of one of the mentors. You have 5 now.
Yeah, he over mentored his board, I would say.
Oh boy, up against Levin in this round. Let's see, so Levin is... It's interesting, so Levin's actually gone for what would be... I'm assuming that's going to be a... Oh, that's right, it's actually a Pop Blossom, or...
The Starfall.
Yeah, the Starfall as it's known in this set. And I'm assuming that's over 9,000 for the Neeko. So we've got a sort of a variant veteran board. We've only just got the upgrade for the Janna, but 6 Protector will line up pretty well against Spieling's board, which is also running the Protector and doing very well.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like it a little bit, but I think contesting each other is going to ultimately result in at least one of them getting a bottom 4, because what you really want, especially in this Neeko Protector board, is to not get contested from anyone, because Neeko, while being a 3-cost unit, you do kind of have to build a board a little bit around Neeko to help you out, so you do have to spend a lot of gold, and if you spend a lot of gold and hit nothing, well then you're kind of getting you're kind of getting screwed over a little bit. But let me know your thoughts, IZR.
I think we have the prismatic ticket. Like we shouldn't be that poor. I would say in the first place. But I think I see here a common mistake that most people do, especially on reroll comps. You are waiting for your slams to be ideal for the position for the unit that you are rerolling. Like here, if we, for example, could slam and bloodthirster, we could have saved a lot of HP. But instead, we are waiting for a third item, a perfect piece, as we say, slam for our Nico, which I think is a problem, causing us to lose a lot of HP.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of HP, there's a lot of people who are very low on it in the lobby. Mr. Duck, we saw before, with the Katarina board down to 16. Dorigi down to 20 with the crew reroll. We had some high hopes for this DG in the lobby, but it doesn't seem to have quite gotten there yet. We've got the prismatic ticket, we've got the escape velocity. We've got a pretty good setup, but I don't know if it's too late.
I do have to say it's a little bit well, first of all, I'm just wondering why we're not itemizing our Malphite, because, you know, main tank and all that. But yeah, it does seem to be a little bit of dire straits here for Dorigi, especially because we have the Sivir 3, we have the Malphite and the Shen 3. We shouldn't be struggling at all, and we also have some good Ziggs items. There we go. That's a little bit better. You know, you have the Shen and the Ziggs tanking there, and we're just dealing a lot of damage. That's something along the lines of what I was expecting here, especially that now this board has the ship activated as well.
And we find a pair Xante here, which is really good. I agree with DG, especially for not itemizing our Malphite here. But I guess since he found Braum, he would like to have his Sen tankier, let's say. The only problem I see on this board, right here to Dorigi, it's first that we are on 20 HP, of course, and secondly that we are missing a lot of Ziggs.
Yeah, I don't know if the prismatic ticket has been somewhat unkind, but it looks like Dorigi just needs a little bit of time to find his feet up against Speelings, who is no longer dominating in the lobby completely, but is still top of the HP charts. That Kog'Maw on the other side, DG, is looking mighty scary. A lot more scary than Dorigi's Ziggs.
Certainly looking like it. However, I do think the auxiliary units are helping out Dorigi a little bit. But Fairy Tail took over. I could only see butterflies on the board, and those butterflies hurt a lot, especially in the later stages of the game. So Dorigi down to 1 life. Cyan actually getting eliminated, and what I'm really looking at here is how will this help the reroll comms, because I believe our first eliminated person, Cyan, was also playing a Kog'Maw reroll board, so that should be helping out a few of the other people who were trying to look for the reroll comps.
I totally agree. I didn't have a very close look to Cyan, but I think he was trying to play the protector line.
Yes.
Okay. So now Speelings finds his Kog'Maw 3, I think. Yes. That's a pretty huge spot here. And he's 8th level as well.
Wow, no, you're right, Isaiah. I didn't even notice that he wasn't a Kog'Maw 3. So yeah, the contesting player being knocked out is massive for him.
Yeah, it's massive. He has one of the best fruits for Kog'Maw, even though it get nerfed a couple of patches ago. But still, his spot, his life, his economy, his level, he's just in a super huge spot.
See how he does against the veteran board. I mean, we've got one scaling carry versus, well, I guess arguably 2, the Janna and the Rise on the back line. Let's see who they're playing against. This is Croc Lesnar's board. that's coming through. And it's looking like if Brock Lesnar can get the upgrade, I believe, on a few of these units, like the Rise, then this board could give Spinnings a run for his money.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, we're missing what? We're missing one Rise, one oh no, two Rises actually. So we're missing two Rises, one one Jarvan, and if this board gets to level 8, you can just add the Karma for some extra bit of power, and then you'll have a really strong board.
I think a Crocs Lesnar spot is pretty huge as well, given that he has his best units 3-star already. He has the best fruits for each of them. The only thing I would change here is to give the prismatic item that we have on Rise on our Janna. That's the only thing I would change here, like the void stuff.
No, that's absolutely fair. We have got another elimination coming in though. Darigi, the crew reroll player, did not get online quickly enough. So that's 2 players out. Mr. Duck, next on the chopping block, did just win the previous round. And as predicted, the Akali will be in place. Izia, thanks to switching it across from Katarina reroll, we have got pretty much what we expected to see, the Mentor mech version of this board. But a top 4 does seem to be further away than Mr. Duck would have hoped for.
Yeah, as I said earlier, an Akali board is never a win out, at least on my lobbies, on my experience, and this is a reason why, because so many players outscale Akali in late game playing a reroll comp, as we can see here. So he barely reached the top 4 right now with such HP.
Yeah, but the Kog'Maw gets sniped there, so we might see Mr. Duck have a late game resurgence if this Akali can get in on these backline carries. But yeah, I agree with you, especially since when you're rolling down for Akali and for a lot of 4-cost units, you almost have to give up a lot of HP in the early game. So you get to the late game, you're already low on HP, and then you see someone who can play a board that is equal in power with you. You're sort of playing a game of chance, trying to get to a top 3, top 4, or maybe win out the game. So yeah, Mr. Duck suffered quite a lot in the early game.
Well, we are looking at a very contested lobby for that top 4. Brock Lesnar and Mr. Duck both on single digits HP, both having to get multiple wins to even get into top 4 at all. I mean, as you are between the two of these, you know, as we flick between the two, which one would you give the best chances of actually making it in?
Well, this completely relies on what Akali is going to do in the fight. Like, it's completely random, I would say. There are super strong boards, both of them, but if Akali snipes our Janna, then we win the fight. If Akali spread around and never reach Janna, let's say, the Mentor, the veteran Janna, I think it has an advantage on her.
Yeah, have to agree there, because if this Akali can get to that backline, to that Rise, to that Janna, like you said, but even then it's, you know, not 100% certain, simply because of how much Protector gives Janna help, as we do see Mr. Duck winning out, taking out Leven, as Brock Lesnar gets eliminated. So the Janna really didn't work out there, and Brock Lesnar gets the 6th. I saw Leven actually be 1 Neeko away from a 3-star Neeko, so that's really the thing that Leven is waiting for here. And if he can get to that Neeko 3, then that just means this board will be at absolute power. Already has the RE3, we're just waiting on 1 extra item for her.
It feels like Leven's very much on the cusp of a much stronger board. As you say, 3-star Neeko, a 3-item Ahri, both would be huge. In this case, we're looking at Starina's board on the other side. A standard Star Guardian Vertical. Does have a decent amount of hurt behind it, but not necessarily a massive amount of single target damage. Braum's going to do a decent amount, but I don't know if they've got enough punch to get through. Nico will cast one more time, but won't get through in time. Lieven's gone, Mitsuduck is gone as well, and Lieven's the one to make it into the top 4, if only barely.
We can see the power of Star Guardian's tempoing here, because we saw earlier, and we commented about it, Sterina was putting a lot of pressure to the reroll boards, to the whole lobby. He was pre-leveling, he was putting extra pressure every time. He randomed get the first battle augment, then he decided to go for the Star Guardian line, even though it's nerfed, and we all know it. Here he got the Water Lotus, another fight augment, and then he picked on 4-2, invested, just to reach level 9 and continue his pressure. And we see here that he secured at least a top 3 spot out of every reroll comp that the rest guys were playing in the lobby. A very smart decision for Serena, I would say.
I have to agree with you there, and what's also really, I would say dangerous for everyone else in the lobby is that Serena is 2 Jinxes away from having a 2-star Jinx.
Oh my gosh.
So that just means not only are you fighting the clock on these Star Guardians, you're also fighting the clock on a Jinx 3.
I was gonna say, someone's got to have short. She has got 1 Jinx in hand. Looks like Spillings does not have another, so at least one of those 2 recognizing that possibility, but Serena's still a major threat. Either way, Spillings has lost a little bit of momentum from taking over the win streak before. The Kog'Maw 3 struggling a tiny bit, and it's looking like the Protectors are not going to quite be good enough. It's going to be a rushing over victory. Not enough, I would imagine, to kill Spillings immediately, but not a good sign going forwards.
Quite surprised that actually Spillings chose to go for the Protector line, since he could have seen for the Nico reroll, which means that if we don't have a Nico 3 on our board, let's say in comparison to the Bastion Kog'Maw board with a 3-star Swain, it's gonna be hard for us to put the damage output we want for our Kog'Maw. The fight to last more and more as we get to the late stage, you know?
No, absolutely. I very much agree. There's Lieven with the Star 4 board, and you can see Spillings with the Nikos in the shop. May well be too late. Unfortunately, no healing there for the Kog'Maw, so he will get eliminated. I think that's going to be it for Spillings. Serena and Aishi both still up and fighting with a good amount of HP, so we're still in for a brawl to end out round 1.
Yeah, and both Ixchi and Serena beat each other's ghosts, so this is going to be a very close and tight-knit battle. But Ixchi is also rolling down for a 3-star. Sol Akali is now in favor of the Lee Sin, but yeah, we were basically rolling down for a Lee Sin, and each person is holding a Jinx and a Kali respectively from the other person. But yeah, this one is going to be a nice battle of the 4
It's
buffs.
gonna be a really close battle. I totally agree with you. But I still believe that it depends on Akali's, let's say, random fights, like random, damage.
Oh, we got Spillings in
Yeah.
the chat saying, I don't think a Bastion frontline wins versus the Akali, and Seraphine deletes the Kog'Maw. Yeah, it's a very complicated situation we have at the moment with the back and forth, but looks like Serena wins out this one pretty conclusively. So guys, since we're going to be seeing this fight, a few times over, let's start talking about, what swings this one way or the other. We've got on one side the Supreme Cells Executioner board, on the other side the Star Guardian Vertical. Isaiah, I'll start with you. What do you feel like is going to be the biggest thing that's going to send that one way or the other?
As I said, Starina has a pretty good board now. He has a 2-star Brom with a TG. He has two of the best, let's say, battle augments for his board. He has 20 Poros following him. He already stacked a lot of Poros with having the Brom on his board. I think all Yixi needs is his Akali somehow to reach, let's say, a Jinx. If he reaches Jinx, he got a Lee Sin 2-star, which can make a difference here.
Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on him.
I was about to say that Lee Sin 2 could be the difference maker, especially if he gets on the Jinx, but he only got near the Jinx and not on the Jinx. However, the Akali has managed to destroy almost everything and everyone on the board except for the Poppy and the Jinx. And this Poppy is a tank and a half. And it doesn't matter that she has a 2-star Lee Sin. It doesn't matter that the Akali destroyed the rest of the board. This Jinx and Poppy duo is just destroying everyone.
Well, let's talk positioning then, because it feels like that was huge that Serena was able to keep Jinx from being targeted for that long. Is there anything we can see she do in terms of where this Akali goes and where their positioning is to try and lure Akali into the right position to actually deal with Jinx in a timely fashion?
I think Akali reaches her most far away target, let's say, the most distant target. So if what was the other guy who plays Sterina? If Sterina knows how to counter it, and as we can see, he knows because he puts his Syndra on the furthest away, let's say, you can pretty much counter the Akali positioning.
Oh,
Yeah, 100%. You already see. Oh, but
hold on.
the Echo. The Echo got onto the Jinx. The Seraphine is going to take out most of the backline, but the Akali is not touched. So Serena takes a heavy loss there, and well, I think Serena is still on 2 lives, but Ixchi being on his last life there is going to be really
really smart choice from Yixi here to choose Isekai, because he needs his Akali to get resets as soon as possible. Isekai is a very good augment, especially for this board, because it stuns the whole board, even though it stuns your units as well, but it gives space and lowers the enemy's board, the units, in order to Akali to find the resets she needs, you know?
Yeah, hitting the multiple targets, and I think there's been some times, particularly when the Akali spell has been happening during the Echo Ultimate as well, meaning that she's functionally not being stunned while the rest of the board is standing completely still. But yeah, we've got great setup here with the Echo, great setup with the Lee Sin as well, getting a little bit of items, and also getting Tiny Terror to make sure that he sticks around with multiple defensive items. We'll see if she can do it again, DG. There's still only 1 life left in this Akali board, and it's all on whether we can catch the Jinx.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that we didn't see stun the Jinx right before she got to cast. That is a really difficult thing. I'm actually a little bit surprised Arena didn't switch up the positioning
2. Welcome back, everyone, to Counters Casual Competition. We are just about to get round 2 started. But before we do, I welcome back to Aziar and Deadly Ghost. Gentlemen, our first game, our first round, was pretty intense overall. I mean, DG, you said coming into this one that we should be watching out for where Star Guardians are post-nerf. Apparently, it's, doing much better than we would have expected.
Yeah, 100%. We did see a couple of Star Guardian units get their bonuses nicked, like we said on the start of broadcast, but it doesn't really matter because with the addition of a few of the new fruits, especially with Super Mega for Jinx, she just becomes a very reliable carry. I think probably the best forecast carry of the patch. And if you can get to a late game Star Guardian board, you don't really even have to field 8 Star Guardian units. You can just have the Kabuko, the Braum, the Cassante, just to add that little bit of extra frontline, because Star Guardians as a trait have very little frontline, so the addition of those units, you can play like 5 or 6 Star Guardian with the most relevant, I would say, quote-unquote, buffs, and then play around that. You can certainly have a very strong late game.
I totally agree with Deadly here. Sterina showed us in the last game how to effectively play a 4-cost board. We mentioned earlier in the start, before the game, that 4-cost boards got actually nerfed and the reroll comps are shining right now. But Sterina showed us pretty clear that having the correct tempo, choosing the correct augments, 2 battle augments, 1 econ augment invested, reaching level 9 pretty fast, putting a lot of pressure in the whole lobby of reroll comps, can lead us to a top 2 and eventually and hopefully a top 1 spot. Very, very well played from Sterina.
Well, like, kind of a larger question I wanted to bring in for you guys is whether or not having, reroll meta be so prominent and so contested between is maybe DG that what we're seeing is that some of the reroll players are being slowed down because everybody wants to get on the reroll train, which maybe weirdly opens up more room for 1 or 2 top 8, level 8, level 9 players to push through and not be as punished by reroll as they would normally be.
It's an interesting prospect for sure, but I think most of these boards with a 4-cost carry that are coming in are, I would say, a little bit more of the exception and not the norm. So to say, because I've seen and played so many games of where I get a Star Guardian board, I get a 4-cost board, and then I just see, Janna Mentors, it's not even a 3-star Janna, none of the units are just 3-starred, but the rerolls are coming in, and suddenly you see a full 3-star board just yeets me out of the game. So I think because we had about 3 or 4 people contesting each other for the same units, that is why Sterina's board was able to win it out. But also that was some incredible tempo play as well. So props to Sterina for making it through. But I also think that it does leave the door open, especially if a few of these reroll boards start contesting each other for a few units. You can definitely have some leeway.
All right, let's get ourselves started off then for round 2. We're going to table 3. I believe, yes. Where we'll be seeing component anvils come in as our encounter for this particular one. So, Aziar, in terms of, how this is going to be playing into our overall discussion today, reroll compositions presumably going to be that much stronger with some more optimized items.
Yeah, that's right. A very good encounter to try and get your to actually save some HP in the start. But also this can also mean that if we have a player that is going to play for a tempo again and punish, let's say, the reroll players, it also suits him very well because he have at least two early slams, which means it can put a lot of pressure to the players that holding economy and trying to reach their spot to have many chances to hit the reroll board that they are choosing to play, you know.
Oh, I'm 100% with you here, ICR, and looking at it here, especially, well, I'll use Levin as an example. We do seem to have a couple of protectors in the Kog'Maw, so I guess nothing really has changed from games 1 and 2 for a couple of these reroll boards. But yeah, like you said, the component anvils are certainly going to allow some of these reroll boards to hit some early power spikes.
If we see some tears coming out of these component anvils, and Levin's going to be extremely pleased based on what he's got in inventory right now. So keep an eye out, as it will be... Okay, so we've got an interesting combination here. We've got the component anvils coming for early power, paired with silver augments, which won't change the board too much at all. Aziel, what's your kind of diagnosis for how this lobby should be playing out then?
Silver augment on 2-1. That's pretty interesting because we have the slumps early, as we mentioned earlier. So it means that we need to be cautious on what augment we choose. We can see here, if I'm not mistaken, what the name of the guy is. Levin. Okay, Levin here, he has an early Kog'Maw. He slumps 2 of his best items, and he has a latent forge. He picked latent forge, which means we're gonna see him to have a chance to hit something really heavy for his comp he is choosing. But we also see that he has three units, which means he could likely go for a lose streak. Like when you pick latent forge, you want to lose streak, like to save economy and lose HP. So it's pretty interesting that he slumps here his components, because we see here that he wins, for example, which is gonna be really problematic in the following rounds, because he's not gonna be able to keep his streak until stage 2 is finished. You got my idea?
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's see how the other boards are looking and tell you how many people have been slamming their items. So we've got Badrix up at the top with Ramping Rage and very much early moving into strongest possible board, as well as picking up Eye for an Eye. Now, DG, I was wondering if we see people trying to go for more of these item-oriented augments, given that we've already got some pretty good items from the beginning of the game.
Okay, I'm just going to go out and say it. You're pushing level 4, you're going an eye for an eye, and you're slamming items immediately. That's a little bit of a contradiction in my opinion, because with an eye for an eye, you want to start losing as quickly as possible, and then, take these early game losses where you can still... Oh, excuse me.
Oh, no worries.
As I call...
We'll come back to that.
Much better.
In a second. TG, but I get the gist of where you're going with this. It does seem strange, but Badrix, I mean, it seems to be working out all well so far, even if, yes, they will be waiting longer for their components. Let's keep looking around, though, and see what else we got. European coming here with going for a Silver Destiny off the bat and picking up Prodigy early on. Did turn into pumping up a little bit more consistent power overall. Izio, what do you think of this board?
This is a pretty standard board. Okay, we got a silver random augment, which means we have a good economy because of the extra money we get. We slam Giant Slayer, a very generic item, and also a burn that we're gonna need in the following rounds. So a pretty solid spot. I think we are going for a win streak. Yes, three wins in a row here. We have Midas stats, which means we are gonna have an extra money. So okay, a good spot, a generic spot, I would say.
Yeah, certainly looking like it, especially with the double Prodigy and the heavyweight frontline, just means you have so much more power here in the early game, and it does look like we're going towards those Jinx items a little bit, but I feel like we're going for the Jinx items of the previous patch and not this patch, because Gather Force mana stacking has certainly fallen out of favor with Jinx a little bit, but it can still be played to a decent extent, especially if you're going for something like the Super Mega and try to force Jinx to cast as quickly as possible. There's also a Zaya in the shop there, European.
Yeah, I mean, I take your point generally that European is still pretty open in terms of where he goes longer term, leaving the other player who's win streaking with that Cogmore setup from before, which, yeah, seems maybe Leven's embraced the fact that running the loss streak is not going to be practical. I'm just going to keep a close eye to see if they face each other, and they will. There will only be one win streaking player coming out of stage 2.
And I think this round goes in favor of European here. But we will see. Livin, I'm surprised he has a win streak still, and now he's gonna lose it as we mentioned, because he's basically playing without an augment. That's super weird. It actually states us that the lobby is not that strong yet, even though we are on an encounter that gives us 2 components, right?
Yeah, I feel you. Here we have a lot of boards that certainly should be powerful in the early game, but are sort of crumbling towards this early Kog'Maw slam. But it is 2 out of 3 of Kog'Maw's best items, and also it could just happen that Leven was facing up against maybe some of the weaker boards that are on loss streaks themselves, and then just is going to start losing when he starts matching up with the stronger boards.
We'll see how it does longer term. Bear in mind, of course, we've got the Artifact Anvil working through as Alistair on the other side, also doing pretty well. I did wonder if we might see something more aggressive happening, in terms of perhaps something like a Kaiser. Looks like we might, in another one we might have Kaiser items, but at least in the initial part of this game, running out the duelists, and this is another change we haven't even talked about as of yet, the Monster Trainer change, making it so that it's possible but still very difficult for players to be able to contest Monster Trainer with each other.
That's right. Even though the copies are like not the other 3 cost, are 22, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Yeah, still it's a big change. Most of the people, when the patch came out, thought that it was a pretty big nerf for a reroll trainer comps like Kog'Maw, let's say, because we could see before the patch like 3 Kog'Maw's 3-star in each lobby, but still I think it can work pretty good. Like, we can see the numbers of Kog'Maw boards usually reaches top 4 easily.
Oh, TG, a small note. I didn't even notice this before, but Leven would like us to know that this is... I didn't hear about this for a long time, but there is a small chance of getting a shiny Pokemon, aka a shiny Monster Trainer, and that's what Leven's got here, so that's why we've got a slightly tinted version of the Kog'Maw, and congratulations to Leven, that's some good luck.
Yeah, that is a little bit of an Easter egg. I'm hearing it from you right now. I just thought Leven was talking about his Kog'Maw being a little bit strong, but
he's just proud of it by saying it was shiny. You mean?
Yeah, basically. Sorry, not a Pokemon player, so a little bit out of my element here. Pandora's items as well as Latent Forge. So basically, even if Leven doesn't get a really good artifact, never mind. He
didn't actually take it, but it would have been a solid option. I do want to take us down to the bottom of the table though to check in with TB Forecast, who took risky moves, which normally you would want to try and pair some sort of win streak with, but instead has lost 20 health immediately and has also been lose streaking as well. As this feels like the riskiest road you can go through.
This is one of the riskiest moves TB Forecast chose, but I think he did it because he didn't have the proper slams, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna take it and have an option to pick first on carousels, so I can slam my items for later Akali. Because we can see that this board is going to be an Akali board, for sure. I'm not exactly sure about the Bronze for Life here on 3-2, but I think we can see, we would see, actually, the Akali Bronze for Life board.
Oh yeah, fully agree with you there. We're only missing one Giant's belt, and because TV Forecast is on a heavy loss streak right now, and now the gold is coming in, so now you can see that tempo. You can level up to 7 almost immediately. Slam. Well, I guess you can slam a Seraphine, but we're just gonna sell it.
I mean, the items for
We're
the
only-
Akali are just too nuts to not even consider. But level 7 is a bit risky. I mean, you've got all this, risky move score, but you could burn a lot of it and not find the Akali at all.
That's right, and we are already on 40 Akon here. We are already on 40 HP as well. It's a pretty tough spot for Forecast. If he hits, he's gonna be fine. As soon as he has a battle augment as well. A huge battle augment for Akali, the Bronze for Life. But still, he needs to high roll a bit, I would say. As you can see, 18% damage jump already.
Yeah, a little bit powerful now, but the problem is you need to have the rest of the board be strong in order to get the power out of it. And no Akali here, but it is the belt that Forecast needed got snatched immediately.
Oof.
That's that's unlucky.
Quite surprisingly, Forecast, even though we are on 3-4 and he has 33 HP, is not picking first on Carousel. This is something you are not, you don't want to expect, picking these augments and having such a less life, such a low life, So I agree, Battleline has 32. Have we take a look on his board?
No, let's go and have a look and see. Interesting.
Oh, he's AFK? He's AFK, I think.
I believe this is also one of our random players.
Yes, so our tournaments are played in normal lobbies, so occasionally we will get players who are presumably just farming XP. So, alright, yeah, that's very unfortunate. So TV Forecast will remain our lowest HP active player. European at the top, though, has got the Mentor Janna board. So this is from the early Prodigy win streak, now turned into Janna, and still maintaining the win streak. Goes up against Black Villain, the other win streaking player in the lobby. We'll see if European can keep it going for 2 full stages.
Hopefully he does get to keep it. What I'm surprised is that Black Villain has the Young Wild and Free, got the Karma, and then sold the Karma when we have already mech active, and sadly that might have come back to bite him in the butt because European is still on this massive win streak.
A pretty huge spot for European here. He's win streaking whole 2 stages. He has 100 HP yet still. He has his board, he has his Rise, he has his Fruit, the Veteran Janna. I think his spot is insane.
We'll have to see what we end up getting, so... No, well, it doesn't look like we put itemization for best defense anyway for Kabuko, so I think European happy enough with Unstoppable and a huge amount of CC combined with Kabuko's mental effect. One more round and it's going to be 2 full stages for European. Bear in mind, this is table 3 we're working at the moment, so if European can win this one out, things are looking very good, but leaving on the other side, we said the artifact was cooking for a while, and it's turned into a Dawn Core, one of the most ridiculous items for Kog'Maw.
Oh boy. Yeah, sadly, Levin is still on a massive amount of 1 stars, so no upgrades yet. But once Levin can get to those upgrades, once this Kog'Maw turns into a 3-star, the damage is going to be so powerful, no one is going to be able to contest it. Like, you see, most of his frontline is still one starred. Now we only see the Xin Zhao 2 coming in here. So once we get some rerolls going for Levin, it is going to be hell for everyone else in this lobby.
I totally agree with DG here. We can see that the Donkor, it was like overcooking, or not only cooking. It's one of the best items for Kog'Maw. And we also see something really interesting here on Living. He initially slammed Sojin and Guinsoo's Rage Blade, but then he decided to also slam the Archangel stuff, which means he has a Sojin right now on his Xin Zhao. Really questionable choice here. But we have a Donkor, so we don't care, I guess.
I think what I would maybe more charitably interpret it as Levin being cynical about his chances of finding a good artifact and saying the only way to guarantee I'll find the perfect artifact is to put myself in a position where I would be annoyed by getting it. And that's exactly what he's done here with that spare Shojin now floating around.
Probably, yes.
We do see a mix of bastions and protectors there on Levin's bench, so I think Levin is just going to be rolling down and see which one of the two frontline boards he gets first, and then just go with those, which I don't think is a bad decision at all, but I think it's a little bit more on the riskier side. However, Levin does have the HP to make up his mind.
And Living here is really confused because he has one of the two best augments for Kog'Maw. He rerolls the Blazing Soul, and he will probably go in for Raid Boss, I guess. Yes, Raid Boss. So two very good augments, battle augments for his board. The Sunfire board, which makes him pretty good in terms of not slamming any burn. He has the Shredder from Kog'Maw, and now he's choosing the Bastion combat augment, which is gonna help his board a lot.
Well, let's check out Alistar, who is Levin's opponent for this round, has gone for the Duelist Vertical, which is not something we would be expecting to see outside of the recent buffs to Udyr, and similar to try and bring him back in. Alistar has been doing pretty well, but of course the Kog'Maw board is very strong indeed. DG, I don't know if you had a chance to, I don't know if that many people honestly have really tried out the new version of the Duelist, but of course Ashe getting a little bit of a change to make her more of a, standard AD caster rather than a pure attack speed caster means that she does still hit pretty hard.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're seeing here we're seeing here 6 duelists with Aramis actually. So this is a little bit of an adaptation for the duelist board, and you're sort of making Rammus to be your primary frontline instead of the colossal Udyr like you used to. And so basically what you have here is Rammus is just trying to be as tanky of a frontliner as possible and just allow for these duelists to ramp up their attack speed and demolish the board, like we are seeing right here.
Pretty interesting choice here from Alistar. I personally haven't seen this version of Duelist board, but he has two actually good battle augments. Probably it's gonna work out for him to secure a top 4 spot at least.
Well, as we come to Carousel, let's take stock of where we are then. Habibi and TV Forecast, both very low. I agree, but fine. I believe was our AFK player has been eliminated early on without too much fuss. So Forecast with the Akali board, Habibi going for Star Guardian Vertical. And then as we go above, we see Black Vanilla leaving in much better spots with another Akali mech board, the Bastion Edgelord board, the Duelist board we saw from before, Soul Fighter, and of course the Janna leading the entire lobby. It looks like there's a ton of money for European left in the bank, and it looks like we're going to be spending that money to try and get our Janna online, or Janna 3 online, a little bit sooner.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen Janna 3 come in, and European has actually lost his massive win streak. Counter, how did we Well, I have a.
Mhm.
It's a bit of a rhetorical one, but how did we get a Rise 2 before Janna 3 on level 6?
I think you've answered your own question as to why the win streak didn't fully stay in place. Up against Forecast though on 20 HP. European has malicious monetization in place, IZR, so does need to be getting these round wins in because there's a lot at stake.
Yeah, he also hit not only the Rise 2 on level 6, but he also hit his Janna. He has the malicious augment, so he's gonna be able to make up the economy for the amount of gold he spent to reach Janna 3. And I think he spot his two off for Kobuko.
Mm.
So his spot is insane, I would say.
DG, let's go and check out what's going on with Forecast down on 9 HP. So this is the Bronze for Life board. Unfortunately, we haven't quite got the last bow to put our Akali fully online. We've got her a bonus of 15% damage amp. I think the Supreme Cells is already giving her 30%. I don't know, I think Forecast may not be long for this lobby.
TB Forecast lost the previous round because of having an Akali 1. Now with the Akali 2 we see a massive upgrade in damage.
Ooh,
but
no
also,
kidding.
why did we put a red buff first before grabbing the belt here, TB? We're now back to square one where we're waiting on a bow when we already had an influx of bows. But TB does get the win. He will get a couple of items from the Raptors and a component anvil, so he will get a chance to get another bow to put on that Akali. Is that Black Villain also playing the same comp there?
Pretty much.
Seems so, yes. I think Forecast just tried to save as much HP as possible. That's why he slammed earlier the red buff. He also got unlucky with the DFG, the third augment he picked for an artifact. It wasn't something suitable for his Akali. Eventually he hit the Akali too, but I would say it's probably too late now with 9 HP left.
We have got one more component. Well, there we go. We've got the bow, so we've got the chance to get Akali fully online, and we've also got an all-out... No, sorry, that was all-out from the previous board, I guess. We've got more Akalis than we can actually even use. So Forecast has got the best spot possible. I mean, DG, as we look up the table HP-wise on the right-hand side, you can see everyone's got around 20, 30, 40 HP. Europeans are outlier with nearly 90. But across the rest of the field, it still feels like the lobby is moderately volatile.
Yeah, it certainly is looking like it, as we do see Leven coming in here. Leven leveled up to 8 actually, and is still missing the Kog'Maw 3. I think this is a mistake from Leven, because yes, you have a lot of Bastions, you have a tanky Swain and a really powerful Kog'Maw, but you really need to get them to 3-star before leveling up Leven, because this is actually going to happen. This Akali 2 now from TB Forecast is destroying everything on Leven's end. And yeah, Leven might have just screwed himself over by trying to level up to 8.
Exactly, and this is why not choosing any econ augment can cost you a lot of spots when you are playing a reroll. We can see here Leaving chose the artifact in the start, the Sunfire board as a second augment, and a third battle augment for his Bastion board. He finds Braum, which is really nice now, but I think he's thinking now, should I just stay on 7 and roll until I reach everything 3-star, or should I move on and have a better chance to get in a better spot in the end of the game? A really controversial decision here, but it might work out for him.
Does roll the rest of his gold, leaving trying to find the rest of the units, but yeah, Swain 3, Kog'Maw 3 both seem very far away. Suddenly the Akali boards are not Leven's friend, but in this case, Kog'Maw is getting time to scale. Remember that Dawncore means he scales even more crazily than normal. Might be able to get away with it, DG. It's going to be tight.
It is going to be tight, however, not enough, as the Kobuko had a bone to pick with this Kog'Maw, and we are down to one life. Habibi sadly did not have the success of Serena from last game, and the Star Guardian board actually gets eliminated in seventh. But we were yeah, European certainly on back on top with the massive win streak after getting that Janna and that Kabuko 3 and just completely demolishing everyone else. 87 HP, only one loss taken in this entire game, whereas everyone is basically on one life or two.
And he also has spamming up, which means he's stacking attack speed as well. He has healing orbs. Let's see now against the Akali, he's destroying the Black Villain.
Yeah, I really like healing orbs in a spot like this where you know you're dominant over the lobby and you'll knock out Black Villain into bottom 4, Alistar into 6th place, Black Villain into 5th place. We have our top 4, European with more HP than the rest of the lobby combined, and I think, if I can do my maths correctly, yeah, more than the rest of the lobby combined and doubled. Europeans been incredibly dominant in this one.
And we can see here leaving, reaching top 4 eventually, is something that we discussed one round ago, that he's taking the risk to reach level 8 to somehow be a bit stronger in order to secure a top 4 spot. And now he's achieving that. So props to him for his decision making. Instead of staying 7 and rolling to 0, he went 8th, he put a Zyra on, and we can see that changed his spot direction here. He reached the top 4 with a 2-star Kog'Maw.
Yeah, 2-star Kog'Maw, but also now we have the 2-star Leona, the triple item on the Braum. So this Kog'Maw is actually slowly but surely becoming a lot more powerful. Is going to go up against TB Forecast board, and this Akali just went on the Kog'Maw immediately. Yeah, that's bye-bye. That's bye-bye for you, Leven.
I think Leven just happy enough to get across the line. Up against Forecast, also on a single life, will take a pretty substantial L, but I think you're right, without the Kog'Maw 3, and maybe even with the Kog'Maw 3, it would have been a big ask. European maintains the win streak, so our final 3 are here. Badrix, Forecast, and European. And European on nearly 90 HP in the lobby is just absolutely absurd.
Forecast on win streak as well. Forecast was 9 HP like 2 stages ago, if you remember. He managed to pull something, I don't know, miracle or whatever. He found his Akali 2, and then his whole board changed. And also Xante 2, very huge upgrade.
Yeah, but also you're going up against a nerfed Soul Fighter board, like you said, and it's not even 8 Soul Fighters. If this had been 8 Soul Fighters, then we would have seen a lot of damages here from this board. But it's just a 2-star Samira trying to do everything, and on the other end you have the Deathfire Grasp just increasing the damage taken. You have this Akali that's just destroying everything, and there's nothing that this Samira can do. And I mean, we doubted TB Forecast at the beginning of this game, but he's now managed to get to a top 2, which is incredible.
Yeah, very clean performance from him.
Yeah, all the way from that risky move start into a loss streak, into a fantastic position. I mean, I want to put it to you guys now, European, nearly 90 HP, Forecast on a 6-round winning streak. They've somehow ducked each other for an absurd amount of time that they're both on massive win streaks in the top 2. I mean, Isaiah, I'm starting with you. Do you think it's at all possible that we might see TB, seriously make an attempt for first place here?
Yeah, again, we depend on Akali's, directions and follow-ups. Like, if Akali managed to somehow reach the Janna, we could be able to outscale, let's say, European and win some fights. But having almost 90 HP, I think European is secured first place here.
Yeah, I think European has a little bit of an advantage, especially if the Janna just eliminates the Akali immediately, and TV Forecast did not want to waste around any time. He just went, "Oh, my Akali got deleted. Let's just FF, save everyone some time."
Oh
That's
boy.
right. But still a quite surprise performance from Forecast.
Hmm.
Riskiest moves, as we said. He had an AFK guy on the lobby, which makes the things much worse for his spot because he wasn't able to pick first on carousels. But he pulled it back. He managed to go through it. He was 9 HP at the end of stage 3, if I'm not mistaken. He pulled his Akali 2. He won 2 rounds. Then he pulled his Xante 2, and then the things went the direction he wanted, and he reached a very clean top 2 spot. Props to him.
Yeah, and DG, as you point out, that was a contested composition in the lobby as well, directly contested in every single aspect. So to pull yourself back from the brink under those kind of conditions is even more impressive. And of course, it means the players who finish top of this lobby have got the best chance
We also see Carmen Tena reaches top 1 here, which he has many 5-cost 2-star. From what I see, the mentor comp without without a Yon actually.
Hmm.
I think this is a Lee Sin Executioner for sure with a Radiant Infinity Edge and RFC, pretty deadly. We can also see Star Guardians on the fourth spot, the Portuguese baby. A pretty solid performance here. Mentor Zana on reaching at the bottom 4, actually. Many players chose to go with the mentor lines here. And Serena that chooses to play, actually Serena and Light Angel. It's actually making our point right that we discussed earlier, that 4-cost boards are not that strong in this patch. We can see the 7th and the 8th spot. Choosing Battle Academia for Serena with Yumi, the Prodigy line, and Soul Fighter for Light Angel.
Yeah, sadly, looking at it, I want to say Gantaka. That's the way to pronounce it. And Portuguese Babe contested each other on those Star Guardians, and well, yeah, neither of them got in a good
Outcome?
yeah placement. I was thinking, but yeah, that's a nice way to put it as well. And yeah, it's certainly looking like a little bit like the legendary soup board with Mighty Mech won it out. So I'm wondering if this was also maybe a crab rave game, something like that, because we see a lot of boards with a lot of heavy economy used on it. So maybe we got to see a crab rave game here.
Yeah, most likely. Brave. We also see many trades, like Serena picked the Prodigy trade, Light Angel picked the Soul Fighter trade. What else? I saw one more, I think, if I'm not mistaken. No. Okay. Yes. Ich bin Batman picked the Battle Academia crest, which means it was a very contested lobby. Like for sure, an encounter with a huge amount of gold, probably Crag Brave or something. But many people fixed, let's say, their lines with choosing an additional crest to their board.
All right, gentlemen. I believe yes, we've got all of our results in. Unless unless I miss something here, we should have everything ready to go for round number 3. So I do want to bring up if we can get this to show properly on stream, but we shall see. I'm going to try and jump this on and then do some adjustments as we go. Okay, yes, not even a little bit. Let's bring this up on screen so we can see where everybody is. So currently, we don't have anybody undefeated in the tournament whatsoever. So Commenta, who we saw before, came in 2nd place and went to 1st, and the Weekend going to 3rd to 1st. So as we come into the final lobby then with our final 8, it's going to be very, very important where the finishes end up being overall. Just because, you know, with a 3-round tournament, as we are, tiebreakers are going to be immensely important, and one of the biggest tiebreakers will be your finish in the final game.
We can see our top players here, the ones that reached the final lobby. Batman, from what I see, he chose to play Katarina last game, which is something that we didn't see as of the 2 games that we broadcasted yet. Very good line. We mentioned it when we started the broadcast as well. And he managed to get the top 2 with Radiant Hodge, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very interesting to see this final game, because the ones that we already broadcasted, the two previous ones, were very close and intense in terms of top 4, not actually the top 1 in the last game that we saw. The winner takes the points with 90 life or something, but still very close games to reach the top 4, both of them.
All right,
Yeah,
TG.
100%. As I think we're getting ready to. I think lobby one is starting, or at least that's what we're
Yes, that's
getting
all right.
told.
I'm keeping an eye out.
Yeah, yeah. Looking at it here, because we have 15 points on first place, and then it's a few 14 points, and then a lot of 12s. It is going to be a race of can uh can we see a lot of these a lot of the people with 12 points, because I believe half the lobby is on 12 points, sort of upset the upper echelon and just eliminate them early to then throw the whole tournament into chaos and array, or will it just be the case of the top 3 4 basically that would be Carmenta, the Weekend, Danny, and Batman, just have solid boards to get them to top 4 and then just duke it out for the win uh, entirely. So I think we're going to have a little bit of a infighting even in lobby 1.
Yeah, and I was checking to see. So Big E Cheese, just because there's only so much room in lobby 1 to play with, is on 12 points as well. We'll be playing on table 2. So if Big E Cheese wins out on table 2, and some of these high-scoring players, as you mentioned, Carmenta, Weekend, Danny, and Nick being Batman, if, say, all 4 of them do poorly in this upcoming lobby, we could see one of these table flips that we have very occasionally seen from before. But still, Carmenta, yeah, is coming into this lobby with the largest advantage overall. So I believe I can hear our game is pretty much ready to go. So let's jump in and see what our final lobby has got for us as we kick things off the final round of Counters Casual Competition number 108.
What a way to start it than a prismatic party. That means all triple prismatic augments. It's going to be mayhem all around. A lot of tempo, a lot of a lot of good options available, and it's going to come down to, can you pick the 3 prismatic augments to help you win out the game, or will you choose poorly and suffer the loss of other people having better augments? I also just want to point out, Counter, we had a Twisted Fate 3 by the weekend. So maybe we get to see another 3-star 5 cost on stream right now.
Oh boy. We can only hope. Well, just a recap as coming into this one. So Carmenta, or Carmentina, I guess would be my best approximation, has their name, currently lead with 15 points. Weekend and Danny tied up with second place with 14. And then everybody else is 12 points in the lobby. Oh no, sorry, my apologies. Igby and Batman on 14 as well. Then the rest of the lobby, which is Nicolaj, European, Tanky, and Portuguese Babe, all on 12 points respectively. So for half of the lobby, ICR, they really need to get the first place to be able to propel themselves above everybody else.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm pretty sure we haven't watched in the 2 previous games any of the top 3 lead on the leaderboard right now, right? Carmentena, Danny, the Goat, and Weekend. I think we didn't see them earlier in the earlier games, right? So that means that this lobby is gonna get a huge strike. Like everyone is gonna play out of their mind, and we also see a very suitable encounter for this, for a mayhem, let's say, with the prismatic party. That makes the whole lobby to be very cautious on the decision making here.
Oh, 100%. We see, was that buried treasures coming in here for Batman? I believe so, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, buried treasures coming in. If we, it looks like Batman has leveled up to 4 actually, putting in the Kabuko. We have some Bastion frontline as well. We might be seeing Batman trying to go for something of a Star Guardian line, as Nikolai is going for that Prodigy line. So I'm guessing we're going to be seeing some Yumi and Malzahar action coming in here with this Prodigy emblem.
I don't hate it at all. I mean, I think this is as good a time as any to face up against Batman. She said the buried treasure is going to make his board very hard to deal with longer term. Flexible being taken by Nikolai here, though, as I mean, this is the highest stakes table in the entire tournament. You know, final round, table 1, it feels a huge risk to take Flexible and put your fate in the hands of RNG.
That's right, but it also gives you a very big edge in terms of if you hit the correct emblems to shoot in your board, because we can see Star Guardian working well with Flexible. We can see mech boards work well with Flexible, and if we have a prismatic for the damage jump, I forgot the name now. The Bronze for Life, a prismatic Bronze for Life, it can make a really huge difference here for Nikolai's board.
Certainly could be the case, especially if you can get a couple of those powerful a couple of these powerful augments, or maybe you get lucky and get a powerful unit early on. But we do see one thing in common is that everyone is going early for Lucian, just to have that secure backline unit here, as Danny has also gone for a Lucian too. And is that I'm the head?
It is.
Yes. Can we have a look on this one?
So this has been changed coming into this patch. You no longer need to get 3 augments to enable this idea. So it's just a straight buff, some mighty mechs, and if you can hit level 10 with a mighty mech board, then you get the prismatic mighty mech immediately. Presumably in an all prismatic lobby, that isn't even that unreasonable.
This is very reasonable, and we see that Danny's spot here is pretty huge, pretty huge. Like if he hits a future icon augment and reach this level 8, just because the mech board offers you a very stable spot, even if you are on 8 or 9, then he can easily jump to 10 and cast out his prismatic augment for the mecha board and spawn a very good transformer guy to destroy any board. So yeah, a pretty good spot for Danny here.
Alright, so DG, we've got a win ticket in place for Danny, who's on 14 points, remember, so could be challenging for the crown. Let's take a quick look at Weekend, who's also on 14 points, who's also brought out the early mighty mech, though I wonder if they might be looking for something else longer term.
It looks like we have a Kaisa here for the weekend coming in. Well, and we have a prismatic Nashor's Tooth. So that just means we're turning it into an Akali board, and we are going to be contesting Danny. But yeah, great choice in making music the weekend, but I don't know if it was the best choice in contesting a Mighty Mech board.
Well, it's for sure a good option for the rest guys in the lobby, for these two to be contest each other. But I agree with DG on this one. Pretty questionable choice here. But since he hits Radiant Relics, I guess it was the most ideally item to pick. So he kinda needs to tend to go for the Akali board as well with the Radiant Nasos, which makes his Akali to not in need of another Nasos, because you can actually 2-hit full mana with the Radiant Nasos. So yeah.
We'll see how much Weekend will be slowed down by contesting with Danny. I mean, all of our 12-point players will be very happy to see the 14-point players fighting with each other. I do want to bring out Common though as our points leader. So they also, very much like Nikolai, put their fate in the hands of RNG when for the Tactician's Kitchen and got Strategist. So we'll be getting the Tactician's Cape later on, but Strategist emblem right now. I mean, in terms of overall potential, you know, we're assuming that Commentator, is looking to win the entire tournament here. Aziel, do you think with this setup it's going to be possible?
Yes, I think Carmentena is doing what he needs to do at his spot in order to win the whole tour. He's taking a risk, a very huge risk. He's going for the Tactician's Kitchen. He built already his strategist trait, and he already have on the line the Crystal Gambit trait. So that means that he's gonna be in a really good spot when he's able to cash out his lose streak trait. And of course, if he finds a Crystal Gambit emblem, it's gonna be pretty huge for him to win out the whole lobby.
Oh, this is going to be really tough, because you're looking at it here, and Carmentina has taken probably the biggest risk out of everyone in this game. We do see a couple of mentor units as well, and yeah, there we go. Tactician's Cape is coming in. We do see now the Udyr just coming online for this board, and it's really the case of can we get a high enough Crystal Gambit result, or number of crystals that we can cash out effectively with here's Carmentina, and then just get to that really powerful place, or will the cash out be really bad, and then well, unfortunately we get eliminated in 8th.
I have to wonder.
Yes, it's a huge risk. I would agree.
I have to wonder if maybe this is an acknowledgement from Carmentena that the being the tournament leader at the moment, despite having 3 other players just behind Carmentena in terms of points, if you're going to be griefing somebody, it's probably going to be them. But so far, getting away with getting their butts kicked. Eyes is a random player, as Crystal Gambit Circlet coming in. That's gotta be tempting, but no. Spins it away and gets a second Strategist Circlet or Strategist Emblem to come in. I mean, this has got to be pretty tempting.
Wow, and he rolls both. Okay, so he's leaning towards strategist, as we can see here. I'm not exactly sure what he's cooking or what he's trying to cook, but we will see. I'm surprised he didn't pick the Crystal Gambit emblem there, because it was just what I just talked about 2 minutes ago. But let's see, something he has on his mind, and he's cooking it.
Yeah, well, first we need to place that strategist emblem, as we're not going to place it because we want to keep that loss streak going. But I think we have veteran, so we're going to go for a reroll comp in a triple prismatic lobby where we also have Crystal Gambit. Carmentina is going for the riskiest of risks in this game.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it, because strategically in a tournament, when you're ahead in points, you can afford to play less risky because you've kind of already taken your risks getting to this point in the first place. But Carmentena seems to have their eyes on getting the first overall, so we'll cash out. Gets a couple of units for trouble, a couple of duplicators as well. That's certainly going to help the Janna veteran line, which they're on currently.
Yeah, it's gonna help his line, but he's already in 58 HP. I mean, he's gonna pay for it. And if things do not work out, he's gonna be in a really bad spot. Having in mind that he probably have 2 augments that doesn't help him stabilize, let's say, in his spot.
Certainly is looking a little bit in dire straits right now, especially because we need the 4th mentor, so we need that rise, or we need the Yasuo to just get to 4 mentor and then start winning out these rounds. And once we get to 7 Jannas, the 2 duplicators are going to help out quite a bit, but until we get to that point, it's still a pretty weak board here for Carmentina.
Absolutely. I mean, because we've got the strategist in place, so you can see that we're getting a huge damage multiplier on the Janna, but doesn't quite have the itemizations to make that damage overly meaningful as of yet. I'm expecting to see trying to go for, okay, picking up the sword. That one I thought we'd maybe see a needlessly large Robin going for, but I do want to take us to the bigger picture actually, as we'll see how well Carmentena does long term. Danny Carey Goat is currently rocking up at the top. This is the Mighty Mech, currently 4 Sorcerer board, which was the I'm the Head board from before. Remember, if Danny hits level 10, the game is basically over, because the Prismatic Mech will land and will just kill nearly anything.
And this is why we have for Sorcerer, because we hit an early Karma. Level 7 from Danny, we have the Sorcerer Gangplank emblem. So basically, Gangplank just gets an influx of AP, and we also have 5 Mighty Mech for Sorcerer active, so it's just a lot of damage for him. And I believe we're missing. Oh, we're not missing anything. We have Illusion too. So basically, what the Mighty Mech augments wants you to do is get to a 2-star from every single unit, or 3-star one unit, and then get a 1-star of the other. And with 14 stars and level 10, you just win the game.
A pretty smart decision here from Danny. He has the tempo. He knows what he wants. It's clear what he's aiming for. He's choosing on 3-2 the Sorcerer Crest to stabilize even more his board. He found the Karma as well with this augment, and he's now perfect. He's almost 8 level on 3-6 with 100 HP. Danny seems to be the winner of the lobby pretty soon.
And there's some mech pilot as well, so that means that the mech's going to become a sorcerer, with Gangplank entering it with the sorcerer active, so that's a whole bunch more punch. Let's check actually what the AP scaling is on the mech. I'm assuming it's okay for pretty much anything, but Danny 1 round away from running it through. Yeah, the extra shield, extra damage, all the good stuff. 1 round away from Danny taking 2 full stages undefeated. DG, if we were ever on the path to stop Danny from taking first place in the lobby, it's not happening yet.
Oh, it's certainly not happening right now. So you're really gonna have to be going for it right now. You're gonna probably have to try and contest him a little bit, or even try to keep some of the mech units just to prevent him from getting there. And it's certainly it's looking like it, because Batman and Carmentina are both keeping units away from from Danny. But I do have to say, Counter, outside of Danny, no one else is from the top point people is really doing well.
Well, yeah, let's go and take stock of. So we've got Carmentena, who is the current points leader in the tournament, is very low on HP with the veteran mentor board. We've got the Weekend, also in a very similar position with the Noxious Trap, and what we would have assumed to have been an Akali board, which seems to have diverted instead to being a Mighty Mech heavyweight board. I don't know, IZR, what you make of this one.
I think he's just trying to save as much HP as possible in this state. He's waiting for the next round to make his roll down. It's probably an Akali board, as we said. He slammed already the Akali items on his Malzahar, and he's just putting some filling units in order to start his roll down right now.
Right,
if he finds the Akali, it would be a good spot. But still, he's pretty low on HP. 27 HP on 4-2 is not so ideal.
Yeah, 100%. Coronation could be good here for the Weekend. 1 buff, 2 buff is also fine, but I don't think, for example, something like Lucky... Oh wait, you do need Lucky Gloves because you have the Radiant TG, so actually that's a that was a really good argument for him to take. We are looking for, I believe, the Akali or the Karma here to at least try and help out this board, but it's not. Oh, we do see the Akali there, but yeah, we're selling the Malzahar. We are putting the we're putting the Radiant Nashers on the Akali, and interestingly enough, we didn't put the Radiant Thieves Gloves onto the Jarvan, which is what normally people would do, but instead on the Darius to try and get a little bit of extra damage.
And Weekend's doing everything they can to try and get that board online immediately. 1-star Akali up against European with a Katarina with, wow, the Arm Guard and the Zhonya's. That's such a big ask to get past, and it will not happen this round. So Weekend takes another hit down to 17 HP. IZR, we could be seeing one of our high-performing players getting knocked out early.
Yeah, that's probably what is going to happen here. We also mentioned earlier that on a Kali board, if you have slammed already a Radiant Nasus, you don't need the extra one, because it basically does nothing except for flat stats. When you have the Radiant Nasus, it takes for your Akali 2 hits, as it would take with 2 normal Radiant Nasus tooth. So I don't know, he hasn't hit any 2-star yet on his board. I think his spot is super eliminatable, let's say.
Yeah, I would honestly agree here, especially because we have a 3-star Jace on the other side just tanking everything. Oh wow. Yeah, Nikolai with the flexible, just taking that Malzahar, destroying everyone, and the Weekend is taken down to 1 life on 4-4. As also Danny takes a loss here, Counterfeit. So, yeah, no longer unbeaten here, but it still is level 8. So, I think Danny having a much needed health lead over everyone is going to be enough for him to sort of maybe have his health chipped away a little bit, but still have enough HP to get to level 10 and then just do what he needs to do to get to that final stage.
Wait, hold the phone.
Oh
Danny Carey also taking Golden Egg as well? I mean, Isaiah, if you're looking for the most spectacular win in history, all the pieces are here. 7 Mighty Mech, 4 Sorcerer, thanks to the emblem, and potentially the Golden Egg as well. I mean, everything is lined up.
Everything is lined up. I think it's I don't know, the most luckiest day of Danny in terms of TFT. He has also on level 8 1 pair Yon. Like we see a couple of Yons, one on his bench, one on his board with a Radiant Hodge. I don't know if this is not a win out from Danny's spot. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's looking like Batman is certainly trying to throw a wrench in his plans, especially because Batman is still waiting on 1 Janna, by the way, to get to that level, to the 3-star Janna, but Isekai coming in and helping out this Janna is so big, as we now get a pair of Karmas as well. So now we only need 1 Jarvan, 1 Yone, and 1 Karma. We also need 1 Aatrox to get to that, to the 14 stars, and then just have the level 10 massive win out. So Danny really needs to naturally hit those units as well as leveling up quite a bit.
Well, that's the thing that we've got the problem here for Danny is, I mean, it feels like, Isaiah, tell me if I'm wrong on this one, but it feels like, if you're going to go to level 10 and go for that instant win, you've got to save gold, and so your board won't be as strong as if you spend that gold on units instead. But you've also got the Golden Egg in place, which rewards you for winning. So it feels like Danny's kind of being pulled in multiple directions, and is going to spend a lot of this HP trying to make good on multiple different layers of strategy.
Yeah, I think Danny went to a point that gridded a lot with this third augment because it's a bit controversial, as you said. You actually want to stabilize your board, pick a third econ augment in order to reach level 9 to hit your units to be even more stable, like hit Yon 2, hit Jarvan 2, etc. And then you have a free pass to level 10 because your board is actually unkillable, especially if you find the Mech Pilot fruits. The thing here for Danny is that he actually picked a sorcerer crest. He has his karma, okay, he made himself a bit stable, but then he greeded for the golden egg, which can cost him a lot of HP for sure, you know.
Okay, now we seem to be rolling down a little bit, but we don't seem to be hitting quite a lot because of how many people are contesting him. Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Now we have Jarvan 2, Rise 2 to help a little bit with the front line. We have a Karma as well. So, well, we already had a Karma, but we have a Rise 2 to help out the front line. We have the Jarvan 2 for even more front line. So that just means we have a little bit of more power in this board.
I don't know if necessarily I'm a huge fan of the red buff on the Karma, just because it feels like we're asking a lot from our mech to be our primary damage dealers. We saw there, can definitely get CC'd. Tanky Houdini on the other side, of course, doing some great work for the rest of the lobby in taking some of these mech units away. But, you know, again, this looms large across the lobby, Aziar.
Yeah,
With
and we have also two players eliminated. The Weekend, as we said, he was in a really bad spot. And the European that was playing, if I'm not mistaken, the Katarina, one of the two Katarinas that we saw. I think yes.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. I think Danny, if Danny didn't greeded, maybe his other choices were really bad, like worse than the golden egg. But still, he's now struggling because he's going against boards that are already, filled and strong, very strong boards.
Batman's is here to provide the challenge. We can see a lot of interesting units on the bench. Batman not up to 3-star Janna, but will run through Danny's board with some aplomb. The Isekai making sure that absolutely happens. And I like, DG, that we've got, Batman very close to hitting a lot of what they're using for, including Cassante 2 and Janna 3, with a massive amount of gold left over.
Oh yeah, now we have the Janna 3. We're leveling up to 7. We have the strategist also online to help out this Janna's damage, and we do have Kabuko with best defense and a lot of shields. We actually leveled up to 8 and put in 4 strategists, so that just means this is such a huge point, and we're seeing the two Janna boards going up against each other.
Yeah, like this is like a mirror matchup. We were talking earlier about Carmentina decision making here, but we see that he managed to pull through. He managed to pick a very huge a third battle augment, which is the cybernetic uplink with 2 crests and many items, which helps his board a lot. But still, we see that he's losing to the mirror matchup, to the Batman.
Yeah, and that puts Batman in first place with Nikolai just behind. That's the heavyweight Prodigy board. We haven't checked in with Nikolai, so we'll do that. That is the flexible board Nikolai was bringing out from before. We're picking up Prodigy as a first. I'm assuming at this point, let's check over here actually, that we may well have... Oh no, it looks like we didn't get heavyweight emblem as a high roll from flexible, but Nikolai is roaring up the table as Danny, with the level 10 win condition, continues to drop. We've got 3-star Malzahar, we've got 3-star Jace, I believe, and close to a 3-star Darius as well, DG. This is a scary board.
It is a really scary board, but we also need to slam a couple of these items to have the cybernetic uplink be online for all of our units here. So Nikolai can definitely adjust and level up his board as well, but Noxious Trap just being here for the Malzahar is so powerful, and he is going to be going up against Danny, who Danny has gotten now the Karma too, so that's a little bit better. We have for Sorcerer back online, but can we actually see the egg counter? I believe we're 1 round away from cashing out for Danny.
Well, Danny is on 1 life, so I hope so. I think, well, I know the egg counter's been a little bit unreliable in the past, so I'm assuming that Danny is going to need to get a win to cash out, because that's normally going to be the case. But, I mean, Danny has had a guaranteed win in going to level 10. And with the egg, not cracking, they need 1 more round. The Yoni upgrade is something, but you're going to have to sell to get there. Danny, Azyar might have taken a guaranteed first place and overgreeded into what could actually turn out to be, I think, at least a bottom, no, not a bottom 4, but perhaps a 4th place.
Yeah, this is the magic of this game. This is TFT, guys, here, because even though you are in a very good spot, the decision making is always the biggest factor on what end you're gonna have to your spot. So we can see here that Danny is not even able to cash out his egg, his third augment. Probably with Yon 2 might win this battle here, but I doubt. Let's see. Yes, he's losing.
It was so close.
It was so close, but still Danny is never gonna pick the egg augment again in his life. I'm pretty sure about this.
Oh boy. So let's see. So Karmatena, our tournament leader, is out. Weekend is out. Nikolai is still live on 14 points. Ikmi Batman on 12 points overall. And Eyes is actually I don't believe is, it's not actually a tournament player. So it's really between these two. We will wait on final confirmation, DG, once the points do come in. But Nikolai may have, let's see, so Nikolai was 2 points behind, no, 1 point behind Karmatena, so might have done enough already with Danny going out in 4th place. If Nikolai can secure a top 2, I think it's pretty much a done deal for him.
You have them switched around, Counter. Batman has 14 and Nikolai has 12.
Done it! Well, in that case, forget everything I say. We'll figure it out afterwards, guys.
We just switched them around. I believe Batman has already secured the top 2, and if he with the placements right now, and if basically we get the top 2 between him and Nikolai, I believe the tournament will be in his hands. But that's for the points calculation to come in. Right now we're seeing so many emblems here on this board, and then we're just seeing this Yuumi and this Malzahar slowly chipping away at everything and everyone, but the Kabuko just refuses to die, finally goes down in the end.
Ikmi Batman taking a hit then off of that round as well, so we're left with 2 players on 40 HP. Eyes are random with the Katarina reroll with that Radiant item. Azyar, you were pointing this out before as being the big difference maker in pushing these kind of reroll comps over the edge. Getting that Radiant item on your 3-star Katarina, making it incredibly hard to shift.
Incredibly hard to shift, and especially when you combine it with the Max Arcana. Can we see how much AP it stacked?
A lot!
61%. Yes, this is the power of Katarina, guys. I'm telling you, this reroll comp, especially if you hit the Radiant Hodge or Edge of Night, but preferably Hodge, it's a super huge board, super huge spot.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame that European was also playing this Katarina, because I think if the Katarina that European had with basically the Zhonya's, the Seeker's Arm Guard, and I believe he also had a Radiant Hodge there, so if he had been able to hit the Katarina 3, European would have been would have been able to just massively hit and outplay everyone. However, sadly, it wasn't the case for him, as Ice Ice also gets eliminated, and we have our top two. Nikolai here trying to contest at least for the top 2 slot here, I believe, and I mean, this board with the Jace and the Malzahar has been extremely powerful. A little bit of an old, well,
A
a board
throwback.
from 2 patches ago. Yeah, I would say a throwback to 2 patches ago, where we saw a lot of Malzahar heavyweights, but it's still a very viable board if you can get your cards in place, which Nikolai has definitely done so.
I do want to point out, even with this board being as good as it is, Nikolai has 100 gold in the bank and a 10-round win streak. They are not only winning right now, but they're getting way over the line. I don't think this round maybe will go their way. It's going to be tight towards the tail end. But Jace is absorbing so much hurt, and it's down to the wire as Batman takes another L. Nikolai is going to start spending some of that money, but right now they seem set up to win the lobby.
Certainly so, and we see the heavyweight emblem just waiting for Nikolai to pick it up here. Oh wow, this is just perfect. So now we can just replace one of the other heavyweight champions that maybe we don't need. Maybe get rid of the Zac and put in something else here. I just want to point out, Counter, Nikolai also has invested, so he has 11 free rerolls. So 50 gold, level 9, 11 rerolls down in the shop. So if Nikolai ever starts losing, he has enough money and enough resources to basically try and get to a 3-star.
So Nikolai on 12 points coming into this one. Batman on 14. So Batman will be ahead of Nikolai, however this plays out overall. We perhaps got just one more round to come. Guys, yeah, I find it really hard to believe that the flexible board can be this strong, but the evidence is here in front of our eyes. This is the final round of the entire competition. This board seems to be unstoppable. We've still got one more fight, perhaps in it, as Jace and the rest of the backline evaporates, but Jace stands alone. Ikmi and Batman eliminated. Nikolai, that should put him right into second place.
Yes, Counter, we talked in the early stage, in the early game, about Nikolai's decision-making here. We said that it's a high-risk, high-reward move, taking on 2-1 on a prismatic party and counter the flexible, and he made it work out pretty good, and props to him, because he had the direction from the start. He picked his Prodigy emblem, and then he leaned toward the heavyweight board, which made him a winner in the final lobby. Very good performance from Nikolai.
Yeah, that was an incredible match here. Really well played for Nikolai. Malzahar, yeah, like Nikolai is saying in the chat, Malzahar just gets to the backline before the Kabuko can even get killed. So it doesn't matter if the Kabuko tanks up everything if the backline just gets completely and utterly demolished by the Malzahar.
Alright, we're seeing the final points coming. We can confirm Ikmi and Batman pipping by the post by a single point overall. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I need to make a custom screen for the scoreboard at some point. But we can see here, 21 points overall. So while Nikolai did an incredible job in the last game, a little unfortunate that Batman ended up being his final opponent, because if it had been anybody else, then Nikolai would be the tournament winner. Still though, second place gets you the same prize as first. An exceptionally played tournament on both of their parts.
Yeah, 100%. Just checking here for the results. Oh, never mind. I believe Batman has secured the victory.
Yes, we did have, as we noted before, we did have some players like, I think it was Biggie Cheese, who was close to conceivably making some sort of upset if things, really went wild. It's sort of, actually, it sort of almost happened, because a lot of the top performing tournament players ended up going out with lower finishes than we might have otherwise expected.
Yeah, it's what we talked about when we saw the encounter. It's gonna be a mayhem. Like it doesn't matter. TFT is all about luck as well. Okay, we saw the spot of Danny. He was pretty big in the first two stages. Then he gridded for his third augment with the egg, and he eventually finished top 4, if I'm not mistaken, or I think 4th place.
Yes.
But yeah, it's actually the decision making. That's what I'm always talking about this game. This game is all about decision making. Like you need the right choice in the right moment, and then you have your direction clear, and you can work on it. You can like play around it, just like Nikolai did.
All right, I was hoping we could maybe have a word with Ickbin Batman, but it looks like they maybe run out the door immediately upon winning the competition to celebrate, which would be understandable, honestly. So instead, if we don't hear back from them, we will just go through and do the rest. So Nikolai will be getting... Oh, they're in the channel now. Oh, there we are. Nice. They didn't text respond, but they are. So in that case, thank you very much, Nikolai, for noticing that, because I was about to completely miss it. Let's hear from our champion here today, Ickbin Batman. Let's see if this works. There we go. Batman, welcome to the stream. Congratulations on a very tight win there. Talk us through, that final game.
Yeah, all the games were pretty close. Most of bounced from my spot looks horrible, my spot is okay, maybe I can win the lobby. The last round was the same. I saw that another player was also playing Janna, and he had the Janna before me. And yeah, it was a kind of a struggle the whole game. But it turned out pretty good in the end.
100% agree with. Go ahead.
Congratulations, first of all, Batman. Very good performance by you as well. Can you tell us one point that if you thought when you saw the other guy contesting you on veteran Janna with, if I'm not mistaken, 2 strategist crests at that point, did you ever consider pivoting, or I did a bad decision to go for Janna, for veteran Janna?
I think I was too deep in my spot at this point to reconsider something else. At one point, I thought maybe it was a mistake that I didn't pick the Supreme Cell Crown in the beginning, because I think I already had a Nashor's and play Akali.
Play Akali, yeah.
But I thought Janna is probably stronger, and then I saw the other guy with the 2 strategist emblems, and I thought, I don't know if this will work. But they are 25 of the 2 costs.
And you also had to consider as well that your spot is pretty tight. Like if one of the guys that were a few points below you, if you played Akali, it will certainly not be a win out for sure. It would be a top 4 secured, but not a win out. And you sticked to Janna, and you reached the top 2, which actually made you winner.
Yeah, 100% with you there.
It took pretty long to get to the Janna. The Kabuka I had kind of fast, I would say. Maybe not the fastest, but I think invested kind of saved me with the free rerolls. I was stayed above the 70 gold, and I think that saved the game.
Oh yeah, 100. Yeah, 100%. Congratulations from me as well, Batman. I do have one question though. Were you? I saw you got triple second, so a nice array of second places. After the so after the first round when you got second place, were you a little bit discouraged of just winning out entirely, or were you just a little bit of okay, I have a second that can play for top 4, or were you just trying to win every single time?
Actually, I was pretty glad that I got a good game, because the last month, all my games were kind of horrible.
Oh no!
I was just happy to get a second place, and from then on, I just went with it. But the second game, I think I made some mistakes, which also cost me a first place. But in the end, consistent second place got me
Yeah.
the win. So I think I have to be happy.
I'm going to give you a custom title because I don't think anybody else has actually won the competition with only getting the second places. So I'll give you the custom title, A Matter of Seconds. I do want to ask the serious questions though, Batman, which is, you know, based on your name, I think it's important for us to know which Batman is your favorite Batman. You know, are we talking, you know, a particular, you know, movie Batman, maybe Batman from 1966 when he was running around being chased by sharks? Which, in your opinion, is the best one?
I would say it's Christian Bale, because I think the films overall were the best, and I like Christopher Nolan as a director pretty much.
We're seeing some upset faces in the chat at the moment. Maybe some differing opinions. DG, before we let our champion go for today, any other questions you guys have for Batman?
I only have one extra question. Christian Bale definitely speaks to me, for example, as the best Batman, but I do have to ask, on the other end of the spectrum, who do you think is the worst Batman?
Oh, hard-hitting journalism.
Tough question. Probably George Clooney, maybe. I'm not too sure.
I think that's
I think
reasonable.
overall, it was the worst Batman film.
Probably I'd say Batman and Robin, probably.
Yeah, this is one kind of nostalgia for me, because I think it was the first Batman I saw as a child.
really?
And yeah,
I think it was more
I'm kind of
child-oriented.
scared to watch
so-
it. I'm kind of scared to watch it again as an adult, so I don't destroy my memories. My good
I
memories.
think that's
of
a
it.
good instinct, honestly. I saw some material on it recently and I was like, yeah, don't go back to that one again.
Yeah.
Well, Isaiah, then last question then for our champion. It could be Batman related, it could be related to something more relevant like TFT, whatever you like.
Yes. No Batman questions, because I'm the opponent of Batman. I like Heath
Oh.
Ledger as the Joker.
Mm.
So no Batman fanboyism here. But I would like to ask Batman about if he could reveal his ladder rank for us, just for the sake of it.
I'm master at the
Master.
moment.
Okay. Have you enjoyed the set 15 so far?
I think it's kind of a mixed bag this time. First,
Okay.
I think
A very
after
political answer, yes.
three patches, it was alright, but then they dropped this kind of whole reroll is the strongest stuff with Xayah, Rakan, whatever this was, and
Yeah.
I think since then it's kind of a downhill for me,
Yeah.
where
GP,
I stopped playing that frequently, and overall
Yeah.
there's so many bugs, and I think with the power ups, it's oftentimes pretty of a gamble if you hit this one
Yeah.
specific, which empowers your comp to be a top 4 or win out comp.
I
That's
totally agree with you.
absolutely fair. Well, congratulations on becoming our champion here today with only second places, showing it can be done. We have got to do the giveaways for the rest of the stream, but I don't know, Batman, how was your Batman voice? Because I'd love it if you could Batman count us 3, 2, 1 in for our first giveaway here today. Is that possible?
I think I'm not sure if I can do that. I would rather not.
All right, no, absolutely fine. All right, well, again, congratulations, Batman. Thank you for being our champion. We'll let you go for now then and do the rest of our giveaways. Enjoy the rest of your day, and extremely well done on all those second places into a first overall.
All right, thanks guys. Have a good one.
See you.
All right, so Isaiah, I forgot to mention, we try and use silly voices just to make we got a lot of giveaways to get through just to make this a little bit more tolerable. So DG, would you mind starting us off with whatever silly voice you like these will be for, so these are our 3 main prizes. So we've got first place, second place, and 3 more random full prizes. Then we'll have the Northern Legends prizes after that. So we'll go through these as quickly as we can. GG, would you mind counting us in for our first of our big 3?
Champions, get ready to roll in 3, 2, 1.
All right. So I'm going to get my list up and make sure everyone gets tagged as we go. And it's going to be by a hair. It's there. Our first random winner. And for anyone who's here for the first time, do you remember? These are the same prizes that first and second get to reinforce this is really not a very competitive competition at all. Isaiah, in the manner of your choosing, would you count us in for number 2?
Yeah, but has it to be a silly voice or?
If you've got a silly voice in available, then go for it. Otherwise, in whatever manner you choose.
Okay, I think my voice is already silly, so let's go with my default voice. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Who's number 2? It's gonna be Portuguese Babe. Congratulations.
Portuguese Babe, nice.
Our second random. And let's see. Joker voice, players Twitch. TG, can you remember what does the Joker sound like? It's...
Let's see.
If we're going for animated series Joker, which I think is the best one. Can you do a Joker?
I can't do an animated voice because Mark Hamill is too iconic for me to even try and attempt. So,
all right, I'm going to attempt it because I'm in the market to embarrass myself here. So let me see if I can sort of dial into it. Joker here. 3, 2, 1, Batman.
That was incredible.
That was better than I was expecting it to be.
That was incredible.
All right, European, blessed by the Joker. Congratulations. Our third random winner. Next up, Northern Legends sponsored prize. I'm thinking about changing this to being less prizes but more in the future. But this, at the moment, this will be 5 prizes, which is why it takes so long to get through. So these are slightly smaller prizes. Before they were 100 rather than 150. But Northern Legends very generously donating those codes to help us out here. So DG, would you count us in for number 1 of 5? We'll go a little faster here, just because we've got so many to get through.
Right. Get ready to roll in 3, 2, 1.
Who's it gonna be? Mr. Devi. I thought it was Mr. Devil, and I was very worried for a second. Our first Northern Legends winner. All right, Azia, could you give us number 2?
Yes. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
And it's gonna be TV Forecast. Congratulations. Our second. 3, 2, 1, boy. It's a generic annoying character voice on someone's voice reel. And, by a hair. Ironically, ducks don't have, hair in that sort of way. But Mr. Duck gets it. Yeah.
I was about to say that was a Donald Duck voice, and we saw Mr. Duck winning.
That's true. Oh, maybe it was. Well, Diddly Ghost, have you got anything more in the tank to try and lure the prizes towards a particular player with your voice?
3, 2, 1.
Let's see which one of these is the porkiest of our players. Wait, that sounds a bit mean. There isn't a good way to work with this. Sorry, Light Angel. You will be our 4th winner. Oh boy. I let myself in for that one. So that's... Oh, wait a sec. Make sure I got the right person. We've got a couple of Light... Oh, there we go. Light Angel 2, I think that must be our 4th. And IZR, would you mind doing one more time?
Yes, let's go. 1, 2, 3.
The count up rather than the count down. We'll see if that affects the results. And it will be Alistair. Wonderful. Let me tag you up and make sure you've got, yep, I'll start our final NL winner. So please do go check out Northern Legends if you haven't already. They're a wonderful initiative covering Northern Europe and doing weekly competitions. Their Swiss competition is running at the moment, which you can play a couple of games per night with a fantastic community and potentially win some prizes there as well. We are coming to the end of things. I do want to make sure before we go, IZR especially, to post your socials into the chat and on the server itself. Would you like to tell the good folks a little bit about what you stream and kind of what you generally do online?
Yes. First of all, I was really happy and thank you very much for the opportunity to be alongside you guys in this panel. It was my first experience as a co-caster on a game that I tend to play a lot lately, which is TFT. I'm usually streaming Teamfight Tactics, so you can follow my channel on Twitch. I am not a big streamer yet, but hopefully I'm trying to be. So thank you very much, and best of all for you guys.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I mean, DG, of course, the folks know you're ready, but I will make sure to grab your Blue Sky and drop it into the chat as well for anyone who'd like to follow you. Is there anything that you would like the wonderful people out there to know about as we head out today? And I'll be sending off a raid once I find someone to raid.
While you're looking for the raid, I'm just going to talk about how I like to use Blue Sky to basically have some fun, have a little jest, and all that jazz. And yeah, follow me on there if you like me posting funny memes and hilarious things.
Absolutely wonderful. So next tournament will be a little bit later than before because there's a couple of the regional competitions coming up. I'm not 100% certain as to which part of the 2-weekend regional competition I will be casting. Hopefully all of it, but I can't really make too many plans without knowing 100% that I will be free. So I'm working the assumption I will not be, which means that we'll be moving the next competition to the 8th of November, which will be a double-up competition. And I have been asking about whether or not there's any way to change the whole thing about needing to, like, sort of practice accounts before you can play double up. I don't think I'm going to get an answer on that before then, so anyone who's watching who's not from EUS, do bear in mind, it's probably worth playing 3 games of double up on EUS to allow for you to be able to play in future competitions. It's not ideal, but I suspect that even if I got a full agreement that it was a bad thing from Riot, they would still take a while before anything changed. Right, we're going to be checking out X-Chalala, who I do not know, but hopefully they are nice. I guess we'll find out one way or the other. Feel free, of course, to tell them about the competition. And again, we'll see you guys in, let's see, so that's a full month's time for our double up competition. Thank you so much again to Deadly Ghost and Aziav coming in for the first time and doing such a wonderful job. Please do again go check out the socials. They are in the Twitch chat and they will be in the tournament final announcement as well. For now, guys, see you guys in a month's time and have a wonderful weekend. All right, we are out.